Hello, and welcome to the Velvet Revolution. I've completely lost track of any sort of numeric episode numbers, so I'm not even going to guess. But we are 6 letters into the second season. I know that much. Welcome from myself, Ben Rice, and welcome to Dave Noble. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. It's good to see you. Feels like it's been a long time.
Mm, yeah, it does.
Your hair's looking, no one can see what I'm seeing, but your hair's looking dandy. In England, is that just a British thing, the dandy thing?
I think so. Feels very Oscar Wilde, doesn't it? Feels a
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
There's some dandies in Africa, in the Congo,
Is there?
believe it or not. Yeah. I'm being legit with that. So I
Okay.
saw, I'm a big fan of Ben Fogle, right?
Yeah.
I love it. And I was watching. He did like this. He went to the Congo. So
Hmm.
it's split by the Congo River. There's two cities. I learned so much from watching this stuff. I'm going to try and reiterate it. So the Congo River divides these two. They're the closest capital cities in the world. So
Okay.
they're opposing each side of the riverbanks of the Congo. So on one side you've got um, Brazzaville. I don't know if I said that right. Sound like I don't know what language that was. Brazzaville, and they speak French because it was colonized. I don't know if I'm getting all of this right, but I think it was sort of they're very heavily influenced to the French culture,
Hmm.
colonization,
Okay.
right? For some reason, you would have thought they would repel against that and push back, but they've attached to it. They've adopted it apparently.
Hmm.
It's only what I'm watching. Okay, so if I'm wrong, please forgive me. And then on the other side of the river is the Democratic Republic of Congo, I think they call it.
Okay.
And then that's got the other capital. But they literally, it's like standing on the north and south side of the River Thames. Well, the Congo's not quite like the River Thames, but you know what I mean?
It's
It's the equivalent of, it's not comparable.
a few more crocodiles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the equivalent of north facing from the South Bank looking over to, you know what I mean? And you can
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
the other. And apparently one's safe and one's not.
Right. Okay.
And they fire shit over the river at each other sometimes in
Okay.
conflict. I may be wrong with that, but that's what I think happens. Anyway, point is that they've got dandies there. They've got
Right.
actual dandies. That's what Ben Fogle said. It's like they've got their own equivalent of the what we would call in Britain a dandy. They've got the suits, the sharp. They've even got tailors there. Believe it or not,
Nice.
in these cities,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they parade, and they've got this posse of I forgot what they call them. It's actually a French word for the dandies. And they dress up and they get and all their colors obviously being Africa, or maybe not obviously, are really bright, really bright. Not like a dandy here that I think the brightest you might get is like a Willy Wonka purple or something. Or a Joker purple suit,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
I'm imagining a lot more sort of played over here. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
sort
yeah.
that sort of brown suit with a
Yeah.
sort of checkered
Yeah.
colours running through it.
I want to look it all up, but I can't because I've deactivated all my devices when I record these. Feel
Yeah.
free to if you want to if you feel like you want to look into that, just search Congo dandies, see what comes up.
Congo dandies.
There's a name for it, yeah. It's
Excuse me.
really interesting. I couldn't believe that that's going down in them places. It's
Yeah.
mad.
Mm.
And it did cross over into what I shared on here before about the Congo, the thing with the monkeys, yeah,
Yeah.
because he got into trouble for filming because there was he came across on the trading on the markets there was monkeys
Right.
that were for sale
Okay.
to eat,
Yeah.
and it was just like oh, anyway, um, so your hair, yeah, that's why your hair, you're looking very dandy.
Thanks. Thanks.
That's a compliment, by the way. It looks
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I think I took it as one. Yeah.
Yeah. for a visual reference, if anyone's wondering, Ben's got shoulder length hair, got a beard, looking pretty cool, looking
Excellent.
very dandy.
Dandy Warhol.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But you're not wearing a suit, a plaid
No,
suit.
no.
Um, so yeah, I guess that's where I'm at. I'm feeling dandy as well, I guess. I don't know. Spot it, you've got it.
Yeah. What have you been up to? I haven't seen you for a while.
I've been up in, I went on this, I'm going to call it a self-proclaimed book tour.
Okay.
I wasn't like going into bookshops signing books because no one would have been there apart from me and, you know,
Would
Roger, who owns the bookshop, and some like, whoever random. No, it was, I went on a mission to, I'm all about indie. And
yeah.
we talk about it on here a lot
Mm-hmm.
about supporting the small, supporting the underdogs, right? It's indie. Let's support each other. Let's collaborate. Let's build community. Let's support each other. So where I am placed geographically, like, yeah, it's in our nature to maybe want to scale up. Let's go big,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I, practice what I preach, which is, I'm not in it for that. I'm doing the opposite. I'm scaling down, scaling back. So it's not a race and it's not a competition. It's quality, not quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple premise, but a lot of people overshoot it because it's that simple. And I get a lot of joy from that. Um, so I was working in the area. I say working, I went on a road trip with a compadre who's doing a similar thing with their indie commerce, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
supplying to indie traders.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, that would be a bookshop, independent
Yep.
bookshop. Now, I've got to be careful what I say because I unveiled, scratched under the surface to that whole industry. Now, I'm a bit green to it, but I'm not green to life and the way that business works and the way that people work, right? And there's a whole lot of stuff that I uncovered. Oh, I tell you, I could go on. This could be the whole episode dedicated to it. But I'm not going to call it all out because it's there. And let's go to let's use the analogy we always use of Star Wars, right? The Death Star. Now, to me, the Death Star, for anyone's not seen Star Wars, is like the mothership for the dark side of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the power, the dark side. Basically, they're fuckers, right?
Yep.
And they want to destroy and 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 rule
Mm-hmm.
and govern, yeah. And they don't give a fuck about the little guy or little woman.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a fuck, right? Anyway, and then you got the rebellion,
Yeah.
right? The Jedi's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fucking Jedi, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm Han Solo. I've said this before, right? And all I'm trying to do is promote a message that can help people, right? So I'm representing myself. I haven't got an agent. Don't want one. Don't care for one. I can represent myself. Thank you very much. Without having to give someone 20% for it. And so I'm doing face to face now. I'm recalling all my old skills from my formative years of sales, right? Hooky
Mm-hmm.
salesman, right? Now, if you can sell a hooky piece of shit photocopier to old Mr. Freaking Barnes down at, Pronto Speedy Quick Print, or whatever you want to call it, then you can walk into a bookshop and do a little bit of, spiel to, you know, Bernard or Helen in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was doing. And I unraveled a system that's kind of, I would call it a little bit false economy.
Yep.
I've got to be careful what I say. I'm not naming any bookshops. I'm not naming any people. Helen and Bernard are just names I just pulled out of the air. But it's the same wherever you look in society. It doesn't matter. It's not just this specific, it's everywhere. Commerce. It's a little bit rigged for the little guy. You've got to play the game, you've got to pay someone, you're getting your pants pulled down left, right, and center. What do you get? And what's the point? How desperate are you to deal with these sort of people? Now, I did find some good people, the rebellion, part of the rebellion, the Ewoks, the Chewies, the R2D2s,
Okay.
the Yodas. They're out there, man, because I'm
Yeah.
dealing with a couple. All right. One such place, I'm going to name it, is Glastonbury.
Okay.
Now, I also,
Was Bernard part of the rebellion?
anyway, right? So, so I also was promoting TVR,
Hmm.
right? Because I believe in what we're doing and I want people to hear it. Not
Yep.
trying to go big, just like I say, indie, face to face, join our revolution, sort of thing. Now, in Glastonbury, or if you're in America, how do they say it in America? Glastonbury. How do they say it? They say it in a different way, don't they, the Americans?
Yeah, they do, but I can't remember.
Anyway, nothing wrong with that. It's just they're from a different place and they say it differently. But anyway, if you're in Britain, Glastonbury, right? So I was in Glastonbury. It's a really easy pitch. Just walk anywhere in Glastonbury and go, do you want to join a revolution? They're like, yeah, where do I sign? It's hilarious, man. There's some good people in there, man, in Glastonbury. What I've noticed is that it looks like, when does the festival finish?
It's June, isn't it? End of June.
We might have some Glastonbury people listening. So if you're there, hello, it's me. I probably spoke to you. But what I noticed about Glastonbury is they're on the festival full time. They've not left it.
Right. Okay.
I think some of them might have gone once and then just went, I really like it. I'm not going home. And
Yeah. Yeah.
they're just hanging out in Glastonbury. I love it. I love it. Um, and I had something, I'm just going to end on this because I've got to share this whilst I'm on it, right? Something really mental happened whilst I was up at the tour.
Okay.
Have you been to the tour?
I've never been to the tour. Yeah. It's on the
I'll, me-
list.
I'll meet you there, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got half term coming up. If you can't come down to me all the way, I'll meet you at the tour,
Okay.
halfway.
Okay.
All
That's a
right?
deal. That's a
I'll
deal.
meet you at the tour at a
Hmm.
certain time on a certain day, come rain or shine. Right. Anyway, so me and this compadre, my friend, who I was with on this tour,
Hmm.
we went up the tour. It's not the first time I've been up there. I've been up there a handful of times. But it's like a little pilgrimage from the town centre. You walk. There's different ways of getting up there. Well, it's basically two. And I always go up one side, and then you can come down the other. Right? And it's quite a trek, you know, if you're not someone that is used to climbing large hills or mountains. You know, it's not. It's a man-made. I think it's man-made. The tour, isn't it? The mound that it sits on.
I've got no idea.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, we're stomped up to the top of the tour, right? And you've got your usual fellow pilgrim kind of type people that find themselves up the top of there. It's not for everyone. Um, and you do get some people that just are up there, they're being curious. What's all the fuss about? But you get people up there. For example, there was a guy in there with his guitar, barefoot, in the actual tour. It's got great acoustics,
Hmm.
playing folk music.
Hmm.
But I think he'd written himself and he was
Yeah.
selling little, again, great, support the indie man. And I was giving him little rounds of applause between his songs because he was freaking ace. And so he set the ambience for it up there. Then you had there was another guy that was walking around the tour barefoot, kept walking in circles around the tour for the whole time he was up there. I don't know where he'd read something about eternal youth if you do, I don't know, 200 laps of the tour barefoot. I don't know, but he was doing it. And then you had all little clusters of people up there sitting there and just enjoying the view and, some were meditating. very ritualistic, beautiful,
Yeah.
love it. Anyway, we're sitting there, right? Suddenly, right, my mate said, "Is that a fucking plane coming towards us?" Right? And so
Mm,
they pointed, and true as honestly, just as I'm saying this, like it's exactly how it was. There was a plane with the lights, yeah,
mm,
and it was sort of late in the afternoon, so it was sort of like a bit not dusky, but it felt a bit like that. Coming towards us, coming towards the tour, a plane, right? And everyone started to point and everyone started to stand up. We all stood up. We're all looking at the plane as it's coming in towards us. Then it turns, right, and just cruises past us. Now, it was some sort of, it was grey. I'd never seen a plane like that before. Just so we're clear, it weren't a freaking spaceship or UFO.
okay.
It was
Okay.
it was like a military stealth plane
Right.
that didn't even really have a lot of noise to it.
Hmm.
It was very peculiar and it was really close. And it just cruised past the tour. And we all just sort of followed it as it flew past. It literally flew past. It cruised past. It wasn't like a fighter jet. It was like a big grey, almost like bomber plane, but it had no noise that would be relative to how big it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it just cruised past, and we were just like, what the fuck is going on? And then it just fucked off into the distance. It's very bizarre. Does that sound a
Uh,
bit weird, what I'm
it
saying?
does sound really weird. Yeah.
Well, you had to be there. It was
Yeah.
really weird. And we were all like looking around, and I was saying to people, are you local? Do you live here? Does this happen? Is this a flight path for like some sort of naval base? Because I can think of a handful that it could be going
Yeah.
to or coming from. But I was struggling to find anyone who was local. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, that was my check-in. Very long. And I'll end on that.
Okay.
Very bizarre trip to that part of the world. There's always some weird shit going on around there.
Yeah. Yeah. It does definitely attracts it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry if I've lost our audience and everyone's turned off. They're like, what the fuck is he going on about? Anyway, how are you, Mr. Rice?
How am I? I am. Yeah, I'm still struggling with it's my shoulder again. I don't know if I told you about that last time, but yeah, just something's sort of gone nerve wise in my neck, and it's just going all the way down my arm, and my thumb, the sort of pad of my thumb is numb, and I can't really move my right arm very well. Got no strength in it, and it's been going on now maybe 4 weeks, and yeah, it affects my sleep because I can't sleep very well because the moment I turn over, it hurts. Uh, so yeah, I'm feeling quite vulnerable because of that. I think it's been, it's been 4 or 5 months now of having some sort of quite serious ailment, and I'm just feeling quite sort of weak. Um, so yeah, I'm ready for this to stop, but it doesn't seem to want to stop anytime soon. And I'd like to feel there was like a really nice sort of couple of weeks at the end of the summer when I'd got the diabetes diagnosis and I'd started eating really well and I was feeling really good. And there was like a, renewed energy. And then now this has happened and it just feels a little bit like one step forward, two steps back at the moment.
Mm,
But it's yeah, it will pass. It will pass. And I just need to, yeah, just need to stay uh as positive as I can. It's very I'm at the moment I'm very happy to hermit. So I'm quite happy just to disappear in under the duvet or under a blanket on the sofa. I'm back at that sort of stage at the moment where I don't really want to deal with anything particularly. Everything seems quite hard.
Oh, mate, I'm sorry to hear that. Um,
Yeah,
are
I
you, if are you, you're still going to work though, right?
yeah, going to work, going to work. I mean, that's a battle in itself. Yeah, work is still the politics is still pretty strong.
Well, you know what I was banging on about the, you know, commerce of
Hmm.
books. And I said that's in everywhere, in all pockets of,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's very, I just call, I got into a few, you know, like you have with work, right?
Mm.
We see things differently.
Yeah.
And, you know, anyone that's been with us on these episodes might get a little bit of a flavor for, I'm pretty sure that, you know, how we see things. And
Yeah.
it is just how we see things. It doesn't mean it's right for
Hmm.
everyone. It's just how I see it. It's how you see it. And it makes sense to me how I see things. It's how I choose to live my life. And my life is a certain way because of it.
Yeah.
And I think just the other recording we did, episode, we was talking about core beliefs.
Mm.
And like I definitely would have said authenticity and integrity is a
Yeah.
non-negotiable. And that's what I struggle with when I am living that. It's my attitude, it's how I perceive myself and how I perceive my interactions with the world that I live in and people within that. But it's not always reciprocated.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I, I think there's a lot of people that I yeah, I think it's a strange one because I've always so for instance, when I started teaching, like when you teach a certain subject, so like say you're a history teacher or a French teacher, you know, I was an art teacher. So you kind of assume that everyone has the same passion for your subject as you do. And then obviously when you're in a classroom with 30 kids and they're, you know, you've got kids that absolutely hate anything to do with art. You know, I remember having a kid that would he thought it was hilarious to snap his pencil every 5 minutes and keep sharpening it. And I could see him doing it. He was putting it under the chair and snapping it just so he didn't have to draw. Uh,
I
and
like, I kind of like his style,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's quite rebellious.
yeah. And at the time, you know, it absolutely drove me nuts because I was a young teacher. But now looking back on it, I'd be like, yeah, right, much respect, well done. Um,
Little
but
fucker.
but it's that sort of understanding, and I guess it's the ego as well, isn't it? Is that you can get into this place where you think everyone thinks like I do. Everyone
Mm,
sees the world in the way that I see the world. And obviously, that's really not the case. And it's really clear at the moment that there's lots and lots of people see the world in really opposing ways,
yeah.
but we're not in any shape, uh, we're not fit at the moment to sort of have that conversation and go, yeah, that's all right. I accept the differences. I accept that there's a gap between how you think and I think, and that's okay because if we
Mm,
all thought the same, we'd all be at Glastonbury tour, listening to folk music, watching strange planes fly by, and having meditative experiences. I don't, yeah, I think it's right that obviously that we, you know, that there are differences, and but we should celebrate those
mm,
and learn
yeah.
to work with them. At the moment, it just feel like I'm in a fight constantly. I feel like I'm in a fight with myself because I keep on ending up with something that causes me pain, and then I feel like in the world that I sort of my immediate world, I'm in a fight constantly because yeah, it's not going how I want it to, and so my
Mm,
child sense is just wanting to scream and lie on the floor and have a tantrum and go, why can't you, you know, why can't you just be nice? Um,
yeah.
why can't everything just be okay for a period of time?
Do you know what primal screaming is?
I do, yeah.
Have you ever done it?
No, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I've done a lot of it, and I have no qualms over going and doing it at any given time I need to.
Yeah.
Now, I don't recommend or encourage anyone to go and do this where I remember I was saying to a young maverick, I've done it in like, excuse me, I've done it all over the world, primal screaming.
Hmm.
I've been with young mavericks in New York State, in like the forests, in the great woods of parts of New York State, where we've gone into the wilderness and done primal screaming together,
Hmm.
and then you sort of, you know, you got to be make sure you ain't got like, some little old lady walking her freaking little poodle near you because it's scary to hear people getting in touch with that primal part of the emotion that comes with primal screaming.
Hmm.
It's a really quite a people can mistake that as someone's in trouble.
Yeah.
It's like a dog howling or a wild animal that's expressing itself in a really scary way.
Hmm.
But primal screaming, look it up, people. Some people might have done it. Sling us a message. Let us know your experience if you've ever done it. If you haven't done it, don't take my word for it. Don't believe what I'm telling you. Go and find out for yourself. Do your own research. Go down the rabbit hole. Try it out. But don't do it. Try and do it somewhere in a safe place where you feel safe. It's unlikely you're going to be able to do it unless you feel safe because you're getting in touch with some real primal stuff. And I always talk about John Lennon in association of primal screaming because I'm not saying anything that he hasn't already said in public before. He did a lot of that, and that was in the early 70s, man. It must have been when he came across the method of primal screaming. It's even in one of his songs at the end where he's
Hmm.
singing about his mum and dad. He's getting in touch with the pain.
Yeah.
Anyway, point is, I think there's something in it, mate.
Yep.
Because the body holds, what's that book called?
The body keeps the score.
There we go. No more to be said. Right? Primal screaming is like a valve. It's a pressure valve. Right? I could demonstrate right now, but I don't feel I don't want to blow the mic out. I love it. It really helps. Radiators with water in that,
Mm.
household radiator. When they don't work,
Yeah.
what do you have to do?
You have to bleed them.
Yeah, put a key in, and then what happens when you turn the key and you bleed them? What happens?
All the air comes out.
There we go. There's a metaphor there. Our body is like a radiator.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've got to let them bleed. Now, just so we're clear, disclaimer, I'm saying bleed as in purge in a healthy, safe way.
Not as in, what's that thing where you drill holes in your head? Trip. There's definitely people that feel like they can release pressure by putting a hole in their head.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen a documentary on it.
Can you let me know what that is? I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a really old documentary,
that sounds messed up, man. That sounds like asylum vibes, electrocuting and all that
but
shit.
it's not. It's fairly sane people.
Okay. Um, okay. Well, look, Ben, I think unless you want me to do it, I don't mind drilling some holes in your head.
Yeah.
I'll get a
Oh, here we go.
masonry drill.
Trepanning.
Okay.
Drilling small holes in the skull, a procedure called burr hole surgery, is a neurosurgical technique to relieve pressure on the brain.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't think we should be talking about this on air. Like, just to be clear, anyone that's listening, if you're feeling vulnerable and a bit all over the place, don't go down freaking,
Don't don't go down trepanning. It's not
don't go
safe.
down that route because, I mean, if you want, I will get a masonry drill, Ben,
Hmm.
and carve out a nice hole in your forehead if you want me to. But I would encourage you to look at primal screaming.
Yeah, sounds a bit safer to me.
Yeah. I've done it in my car, driving along. down
Yeah.
lanes. Yeah, down lanes and motorways, don't matter. No one's going to eat you. Might look a bit weird, if you're just slowly overtaking someone, you're just overtaking someone who's in the middle of doing a primal scream. Ah! But you see that all the time anyway. The amount of times I've driven past people, it's normally when they've got kids in the back seat, their car, and the mums or dads losing their shizzle. They're like, shut the fuck up. Trying to drive. Anyway, shall we dive in?
Let's choose a letter.
Yeah. Should we
Yep.
dive in? So it's your turn to pick.
Yep.
We're on F.
Yep.
F for um, frazzle. Frazzles. Do you remember them crisps?
Yeah. Yeah. Frazzles aren't on here. Just putting
You
that out
can
there.
get other crisps, but do you remember Frazzles?
I
They're
do.
bacon.
I think they were. Yeah. They still exist, don't they?
I don't know.
Okay. So in F, we have forgiveness, faithful, faith, fear, forgetful, flexible, firm, fury, friendly, foreboding, and we did frustration last season.
There's got to be more than that.
Well, frazzled isn't on there.
We could do an episode on Frazzles.
Oh, and any other bacon flavour crisp that people want to talk about.
There's got to be more. As always, I'm always the first to say this. If anyone can be asked, we would value adding to the list because we are intent to do this for a number of years. So we're going to keep going.
Whether anyone likes it or not.
Yeah, I don't give a, I just really thoroughly enjoy turning up and hanging out with you
Yeah,
and recording and chatting shit for the time we chat. I
yeah.
love it. So whether anyone else is getting anything from it, which I know they are, because we do get feedback. I think we've got some more feedback,
Have we?
but but I'm not sure what I did with it. I'll have to pull up the emails.
Okay.
But we will read them out. We'll always read them out. We'll get round to that. Before you pick, am I
Go on.
sidetracking? I wanted to read. I wanted to do I've got a note of it. I wanted to read that. You sent it to me.
Yep. Of
Can I just quickly read it?
course you can.
Okay. Everyone listening? Ready? The artist who is after success lets himself be influenced by the public. Generally, such an artist contributes nothing new, for the public acclaims only what it already knows, what it recognizes. Love that. That's
Mm.
from some dude who lived from 1869 to 1951. That you sent me that. It's a quote by Andre, don't know how to pronounce his surname.
Not Andre 3000.
Yes. And then there's a follow-up thing to it. So there's someone's obviously written something else, and it says, when creation bends towards recognition rather than discovery, is the artist still creating or merely reproducing the familiar in more palatable forms? And might the pursuit of originality require a willingness to risk obscurity, even rejection?
Mm.
Question mark. I like that.
I do. I think it's a great quote.
I
So,
really freaking like it. And if you weren't sure about that, re-listen
yeah.
and reflect on it. It's got a lot of truth in that, and I love it. The artist who is after success lets him. The artist who is after success lets himself be influenced by the public. Mm.
Mm.
All right. Okay. Sorry. I just wanted to chuck that in before I forget. There we go. Right. Crack on.
Okay. So, so I am going to bounce a little bit off the back of that, but I am going to pick forgiveness.
Hang on, how have you done a segue from what was explain, explain.
Well, the reason I want to pick forgiveness is because I've been struggling in my life uh, with another human being that quite clearly has a very different outlook to life to me. And I sort of touched on that sort of idea in the check-in. And I guess that's what that quote sort of suggests to me as well, is that there is a way of living that is popular, that is populist, and you exist in a herd, in a collective of this is acceptable. And to break outside that norm, to break outside and do something different, like I was chatting to someone the other day about this. That was it. We were watching a program on Barcelona, and they were sort of talking about Gaudi being the ultimate outsider artist. And it's like, why are they an outsider? You know, Obviously now he's like, he's huge, and everyone goes, "Oh my god, he's incredible." But the idea being is that they're an outsider artist because they're doing it outside of the popular acceptance. But they're just an artist, really. It's just they're doing their own thing and they're not following everyone else. And I guess at the moment I'm just in a situation where, because someone is doing or living their life in a very, very different way to me, and I find it quite oppositional, I I'm I would like to be the better human being and accept what they do and forgive them if what they do comes across as being quite cruel and quite mean spirited, and actually accept, oh, they've just got a different way of being, a different way of looking at the world. But and not get caught up in that sort of resentful, oh my god, they're just a dreadful human being. I need to, I need to fight them. I need to, not physically, but I need to spend my life talking about how bad they are and sort of putting them down and trying to find a way that makes that makes me feel better by sort of by being on top, by winning, by having the upper hand, however you want to put it. So that's why I'm picking forgiveness, because I spoke again. I spoke to someone the other day, and I was talking about this situation, and I said I feel very victimized. I feel very bullied. I feel very pressurized. There's a real there's a real meanness to the way this person is interacting with me, and there's definitely a lack of honesty there. There's no acceptance to me. That's what they're doing, and part of me is going, they're in a really bad place. If that's how they want to treat other human beings, then something in their life must have been really horrible. Something must have, you know, somebody else must have treated them really badly to think that they can then treat other people this badly. And that's the sort of dispassionate, emotionless sort of, right, I'm going to step back outside of the emotion of feeling really hurt and upset and go, right, how's this other person feeling? Put myself in their shoes, and and be the better person,
Mhm.
which is a really difficult place to be, and really difficult place to put yourself in, because all I really want to do is bitch and moan and whinge and share this sort of collective discontent and resentment and hurt, because that, I think, in the short term makes me feel better, because it feels like I'm letting other people into that, when ultimately, if I can just go, right, well, I know I'm living my life in a way that is true to how I want to live my life, and that should be enough, that if I'm living with kindness and honesty, like we talked about those values last time, or how we give ourselves certain values to live by, and if I was doing all of that, then I'd go, right, well, I know I'm in my truth, and I know that I'm doing things right by how I feel and how I think. Um, but I find it really, really hard. And it's like you're saying there about that sort of artistic. If you're living your life in a creative, artistic truth, it's really hard then when someone is, the man, stick it to the man, is somehow making that more difficult, is somehow conspiring against you, and you're like, well, that's not fair. Again, it's that inner child, that tantrum that I want to have. So forgiveness is where I'm settling as a word, because it's something I'm struggling with at this moment in time. And we've talked before about how we subconsciously pick words because they fit with what's going on for us. This is not subconscious. I'm struggling to forgive other people for their actions, and I'm struggling to forgive myself as well at this moment in time, because my body keeps on hurting. So
Mm,
that's another strand to it as well, which I'm just thinking about, is I'm not being kind to myself.
mm.
So yeah. So that's where I'm landing with forgiveness. Over to you.
Bloody hell. Okay, well, look, thank you for your, thank you for your honesty. I was really honest, you know. There's a lot in that, what you said. It's a lot
Yeah.
to relate to.
Uh-huh.
I certainly relate. Don't know about people at home, but I definitely relate to what you're talking about. So let me have a think about this. Something that I have had to work on a lot is exactly what we're going to be talking about, forgiveness.
Mm.
It's something that I I had a lot of people in my life point out to me that I'm not at peace with certain things.
Okay.
There was like an agitation, a discord, a dis-ease um, that was quite obvious and evident to, I mean, I'm not stupid. I knew I had it, but I was very good at masking it, of numbing it.
Hmm.
Um, and other people, those close to me, you know,
Hmm.
um, could see that. Loved ones, they can see. They're not stupid. They can tell. We can tell. Anyone listening, I'm not alone here. You're not alone here, Ben. And the people
Hmm.
listening, we're not alone. Like, it's a very common thing. But we try to just sort of like not go there for whatever reason. Maybe it's too painful. I don't know. I can only talk for myself. And it was painful for me. So I didn't go there till I had to. And what I discovered by going there was that someone said this to me once, and it's really stuck, and I'm gonna just relay it in my own words. They said to me something along the lines of finding forgiveness in your life, whatever in whatever context forgiveness is for you in your life, whatever you need to use forgiveness for. It's not just about setting other people free, because sometimes it is that, it's like, I need to forgive certain characters that have maybe I feel have harmed me or or not being skillful in their conduct towards me for whatever reason. So there's that part, I I've really benefited from finding forgiveness for that.
Hmm.
And it is, it's like grieving. It's like no one should ever tell us that we should be over our grief. No one should ever say, "Oh, hurry up and get on with your grieving and just grieve." Come on, when are you gonna stop grieving? It's grieving is a process like forgiveness. It's not a quick fix. It's not just like, oh, meet someone, have a quick hug and a pub lunch, and it's all done. Shake hands and get on with it.
Mm.
And I think I've written about that in certain context in my book because that's what I thought it would be. But it wasn't. It's taken many years to it's like grief. It takes time. It's no rush, right? It's painful. It can be painful. But more importantly, what this person said is it's forgiveness that sets us free, not the person. It sets us free. Like, so even if you feel you don't want to forgive someone, it's not about letting them, it's not about in I think a lot of um the way that forgiveness is positioned is that we automatically, or sorry, not we, I used to think that forgiveness was about other people. I need to forgive other people,
Hmm.
right? Now, what I've learned and discovered is that forgiving, it sets me free, sets me free. I'm the one that's, not able to be comfortable in my skin, in my head, in my heart, whilst I've got resentment or that discord going on. So I need to look at that. It's not about the other people. Of course it is, of course, but it's about setting me free. It sets me free. It sets them free as well, but it sets me free.
Hmm.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's probably more likely going to set you free more than it is them,
Of course.
because it's stepping outside that. Sounds really pretentious, but that emotional prison.
Yeah,
it's
no, no,
it's
it
it's
is.
like I'm sort of trapped. We've talked about the drama triangle before, but it's kind of like I'm being the tractor beam from the Death Star,
Mm.
from the evil empire, is
Hmm.
pulling me back into this world. I don't want to be there. Like there's a serenity to not being beholden to all those emotions.
Mm.
I don't want to be angry all the time. I don't want to be resentful. I don't want to be in fear. I don't want to be having those emotions. I find them really debilitating.
Okay, so I'm going to say something that's going to be really annoying. I'm going to say it's your fault.
Yeah.
Now, just bear with me. And this is for everyone, and this is why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
And it's with love that I'm saying it. And I have to say this to a lot of people, whether it's parents, family members, or young mavericks, or whoever's, right? I always say the same thing. It's your fault. Like, we covered enabling
Hmm.
last week, didn't we? Or when we recorded
Yeah.
last,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Enabling. Right. So what's our part in this, right? So when I say it's your fault, you could say it to me, and I'd be like, yeah, you're right. It is my fault. But I might not want to admit it, and I might not like the fact that you're pointing that out to me. But a good teacher will do that. A good teacher won't go, oh yeah, and fuel into that hatred that you've already got in your heart for these people and the situation, because that's what we do. That's that freaking classic. It's not just British, it's a global phenomenon. Yeah, I said the word right. Where we love to just get around a table, whether it's in a pub, a kitchen, or it don't matter. You could be on a road trip with a compadre sitting next to someone, and we're putting the world to right, and we're fueling into that hatred for an ideology or a fucking thing that's going on in people's lives, and it's like, and it's like we're enabling that. We're enabling that discord and the coarseness of the energy of resentment to continue. Um, so when I say it's your fault, it's like change it. It's like, I can't. It's like, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
You're choosing to, you're enabling it.
I,
As fucking shit as that is for me to say, but you already know what I'm saying. I'm just demonstrating, not to you. I'm sorry, I'm using you as an example. Trust me, you know this. People have said it to me. This
uh-huh.
is how I know the nature of what's going on. Enabling. So, you know, we have a choice. I don't. You don't understand. Shut up, right? Stop making excuses up. You've got a choice, right? No, you don't understand. I don't. Like, it's nothing I do. There is. You can do something about this.
Yeah. And
What?
the moment you get into that point where someone is arguing with you like that, and and you get angry, like the moment you say, "Yeah, it's your fault," and I was talking to someone about this the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, but what do you think this person? What where do you think they're coming from? What's your part in this? And what?" And the moment you go there, and you're like seething because you're like, I don't want to accept this. This is just making me feel worse and more angry because, and then you're like, oh yeah, it is right
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
it's making me feel this way, which is
yeah.
I do have a choice. And I saw this incredible video this week on social media, which again I'm probably spending too much time on at the moment. And it was Gillian Anderson talking to somebody, and Gillian Anderson said, "How much energy do we give to being complicit in things that we don't want? Like,
Mm-hmm.
how much do we actually create a situation that we don't want to be in?" And like you said, like you have got a choice.
Mm.
You've got choices all the time. We're not living in a dictatorship where we haven't got a choice. We can make decisions that will free us from these things,
Yeah,
and they might be really, really difficult. They might be horrible decisions to make, and they might not be decisions you want to make, but ultimately they're going to get you to a place where you're not complicit in it.
yeah,
We put so much energy into being in something that we don't want to be in. Like,
yeah,
we're part of that problem. If it's happening,
yeah,
like what are we doing? What are we doing
yeah.
about it?
So you got to go 20 lengths, right? Now, I was taught this early days when I did my journey of, which I'm still on, this journey of self-development, self-discovery, recovery, etc., etc. Where it's like, you've got to go 20 lengths. Now, let's use an example of the behavior that we lock into, which we think we still need to use, right? So it's like a habit that we get caught up in that we've had probably a long time, and we're not. Let's use drinking alcohol, right? Okay, classic, right? Especially in England, in Great Britain, right? Like alcohol, the way we've got this really weird association to alcohol in this country. It's very peculiar. It's just odd. Now I'm like someone that's not caught in it. I'm not judging because I was participating in the peculiar, habit of thinking like we've got to drink in all situations when we don't. We've got a choice, right? Um, it's things like that. Now these sort of behaviors, these habits, why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? Let's look at that. It's not till I started to understand, like someone brilliantly pointed out to me, you know, I used to go to any lengths to make sure that I was always going to be near somewhere where I could get alcohol in any
Right.
situation, right? My first thought would be, yeah, yeah, okay, I'm up for that, but can we get drink there? Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, oh, day out at the museum. Great. Have they got a bar? Is there a pub? Is there a pub on the same street? It's that kind of thing. Now we get caught. I'm going to say I'm going to be bold. We get caught up, humans, right? Not just saying because I've done it, everyone else does it. This is common, right? I'm just using alcohol as an example, right? Because it's quite an obvious one to use. We get caught in certain behaviors and mindsets and thought patterns, and we kind of, it's almost like we're asleep,
Hmm.
right? We're not conscious of it. until we start to become conscious of that behavior. I'll go to any lengths to continue to perpetuate that habit, and not just the doing of it, but the setting it up, you know, the the thought process, because it's a thought before it's an action. You
Hmm.
know, it all starts with in my mind, it's a thought, and it's a subconscious thought most of the time, right? Where I just before I know it, I'm sitting in the pub next to the museum, getting sloshed up.
And the museum's gone out the window, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I might have gone in there for an hour, but then I've done the back door, right? But anyway, like so, but it's that kind of thing, right? Now, someone said to me when I started to look at this stuff, is you got to go to any lengths to change that. You've got
Hmm.
the ability to go to any lengths to do it. So you're not, it's not like you're learning anything new. You've just got to flip your fucking motive, flip the intention, flip the narrative, the perspective. It always comes down to perspective. So, will you go to any lengths, Ben? Will you go to any lengths to change the outcome? Because you'll go to any lengths to stay in it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that. I get that. And what it means, what that means at the moment is, I keep on putting myself back in that situation. And when you say things like that, I'm getting that real uneasy sensation where I'm like, you're probably right, but I don't want to admit it at this moment in time. I don't want to actually say, yeah, I know what you're talking about, because I don't want to do it.
Well, there you go. So that's the aha, that's the big reveal right there. And anyone listening, this is relative to everyone listening, right? The desire to stop and change the narrative has got to be stronger than the desire not to. And if you ain't got that, you know, if you haven't got that desire, then you'll get it eventually, but it needs to get maybe a little bit more painful. You got to suffer
Mm,
more. You got to suffer more, man.
yeah.
It's like using the alcohol thing for me, right? Alcohol and all the other things that I was doing, it was at my detriment. It had to get really painful, you know, really, really, really painful. And even then, it's no guarantee you're going to change it. You know, I got an email just in the week from a parent. Um, a young maverick lost another young maverick by his own hand, killed himself.
Oh no.
Rest in peace, brother. Another fallen brother. Um, you know, he can go to any lengths to get on top of his well-being and mental health and go to any lengths to change it. He just couldn't do it. Some people just can't do it. It's not in their story. But if you want to live and you don't want to die, I'm not saying this is life or death scenario what you're in, but it can take you out. Mental health is mental health. If your mental health is declining because of what we're talking about, and you've got so much unforgiveness in your heart, um, and resentment, it's like poison, right?
Mm,
And only you know how that affects you. I mean, look at what you've been checking in with for the last however long,
yeah.
how it manifests. You know, our body normally um, will 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 struggle as much as our mindset and our head.
Yeah.
Maybe. I know it did for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. So someone said to me, you know, how when I recognized that drink and drugs and all that stuff and all of the stuff was yeah, really just yeah, I just couldn't go on. They, you know, they said to me, you know, it's really clear, like you got to go to any lengths to recover from this. Any lengths. You go to any lengths to stay in it. So how much do you want it? Anyway, there's a lot for people listening to think about there, and it's not just about, you know, I just used alcohol as an example. It could be anything. It could be that person, that relationship you're in. It could be your wife, it could be your husband. Could be your job, your career, could be where you live. You know, how many times I was one of them when I lived up before I moved out here. Fucking hate my neighbour, fucking hate my town, I fucking hate the people, I hate this, I hate that, I hate being near Essex. Big shout out to Essex.
Yeah.
Um, I've got Essex blood running through my veins. I found out I'm 2% Cornish.
When did you find that out?
Did my DNA test.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other strange anomalies in there?
8% Irish.
Yeah.
I've got Germanic,
Okay.
which I think we all have. Got I think 2% Danish and 3% Swedish,
Yeah.
something like that. But majority is northwest England,
Northwest England.
like Cumbria vibes.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So anyway, I was just covering myself because if anyone's got a problem with me buffoon in Essex, um, I've actually got some blood in me.
So have you forgiven your heritage, your ancestors for their part
Oh
in
my
your
God.
situation?
So look, for me, the biggest forgiveness that I had to work on was myself. There's other people in there. There's other people in there, you know. There's people in there. I've got bullies,
Hmm.
people that bullied me. Yeah, there's one in particular who I write about. On two occasions, he really fucked with my psyche, when I was already really vulnerable and meek, and he knew it. And he did mind torture, psychologically terrorized me. I never recall him putting a hand on me, like as in forcefully, but he spat at me. You know, that's a horrible thing for someone to do.
Mm.
You know, I wrote about it. There's a story about where I was taken. Sounds like, you know, but I was taken. We'd taken some uh, some acid um, on a morning at college, and we ended up in an abandoned warehouse. And it was that guy and his equally fucking lunatic mate. So I was outnumbered. And I was subjected. As I'm talking about this, I can feel the residual PTSD in my body, in my nervous system. So I'm going to articulate that. As I'm talking about this, I can feel there's some residual PTSD in my nervous system that I'm starting to feel is arising in my body. My heart rate's starting to get a little bit faster, and I can feel my chest is tightening a little bit. Like, you know, that sort of, oh, am I about to have a panic attack feeling?
Hmm.
But it's okay. Nothing bad's going to happen. You know, I'm very safe, and I'm just recalling something that happened, and it's okay. And sometimes I feel a bit spun out and dizzy when I talk about stuff, because that's the power that this shit has on us, right? And I've done primal screaming on this. And sometimes you can direct that primal screaming, not just to purge out and release that pressure from your body and your nervous system. It's actually directed at the person that's done it.
Okay.
You know, they never have to know about that. You know what I mean? It's just like, because maybe that's what we never did. We need to have a voice, and maybe a big part of, I think, what's going on is our resentments because we don't feel heard.
Mm.
We're not being heard. We don't feel seen. We don't feel heard. We don't feel like what we've got has any value to the person or people that we're trying to communicate with.
Hmm.
Like, you're not hearing me. I've got this point of view and you're not seeing it. And you want to shout at them. But maybe you're in a situation where you can't shout at them. Maybe you've tried that bit, but it hasn't worked. So
So
what do we
I've got
do with that?
so I've got a couple of things from that.
Okay.
One, do you feel like you've forgiven this human being now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I do. Um, I can't mention his name, but if I saw him, I'd hug him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say, it's good to see you, bro. Like, that's where I'm at with it.
Okay.
Whereas before, I despised the man.
Yeah. And
And
then
that's hard. That's a hard place to get to.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and I'm not just blagging it. I've done the work on this. Still have to. Like I said, there's some residual PTSD in my body because they terrorized me. They took me up into the top of this warehouse, abandoned warehouse, and proceeded to talk like mind control.
yeah, yeah.
I felt very, very trapped and disempowered and entrapped in a situation, and they knew it, and they toyed with me I wrote about it like a cat would with a mouse.
Mm,
Doesn't kill it, it just wants to play because it's for whatever reason it's in its nature to want to do that. And maybe the mouse would die of a heart attack or it gets away, or it might get its head ripped off. I don't know. And I managed to get through that ordeal, and I never talked to anyone about it. And they did spit at me every time I tried to. I had no power to get out of
mm.
that. No power whatsoever. And I held on to that shit. I was 16, nearly 17 when that happened. I didn't deal with that till I was like in my mid to late 30s.
And there's a senselessness and mindlessness to it where any rational sort of thinking goes out the window because it doesn't make sense.
Mm,
Like I guess that's where I find myself going, why me? It's that sort of, why has this happened to me? And then you or I invent a narrative where there's somehow I'm deserving of that and I have to accept it. And all of that is diminishing yourself and your place. And I guess the opposite of that is, and that was my second part to when you were just talking now, is that, like you said, is where's my place, where's my voice? And even if your voice is just, even if you're sitting at home just creating, so let's say you're sitting at home tonight and you get your guitar out and you make a song,
mm,
and that's enough for you. That's enough because you've made something and you've it. I guess you don't need that validation. You don't need, like we were talking about the artist earlier, and like this ability to want to be recognized. And actually, the opposite of that sort of being diminished, and then it's like I'm going to create something so that people think I'm good.
mm,
I want to be validated here because I've put something into the world that's good.
mm,
I've written a book. I've done a painting. I've written a song. Whatever it is, I want that validation because I've been diminished in the past. And then actually, is it enough to have a tiny voice and to be going up against the man and just trying to sell one book at a time by yourself in a bookshop because you're validating yourself? Then
mm.
it's like I'm okay. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm doing what I need to do to be
yeah,
okay. I'm not relying on someone to tell me I'm good enough or someone to tell me I'm not good enough.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love that. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, we live in a culture now where one of the things that will come up is, well, how many followers have you got? What's
Mm-hmm.
your audience? I'm like, what's that got to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got a lot to do with it. But that's the world we live in. Has that always been like that? You know what I mean? Do you reckon when the Romans had the gladiator, um, the Colosseum, and they get the gladiators in, they went up to him and went, so how many followers have you got? How many people are you going to be able to draw in to watch tomorrow's showdown with the tigers and the lions? I don't know. Is it a thing? Has it always been like that? Is that just the way humans operate? I don't know, but it certainly is how it is now.
Yeah.
And it's like we always talk about this. It's like, you know, you got to play a game, man. You got to play a game. There's a bit of grind, as they might say, in certain parts of the world. You got to grind. You got to hustle. Yeah, and I'm prepared to do that in my way, and I'm prepared to do a little bit of, what I need to do. Play a game and do a bit of grind and hustle, but doing it, I'm 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 beating my drum, man. I'm not. I'm. It's that whole thing. There's something deeply ingrained in me. I just think it's my personality, or it's just the way I'm wired. But I'm not the sort of person that's going to be like a sheep and do it like everyone else, or do it the way that they're telling me, well, you've got to do it this way, which is what I came up against in these fucking bookshops that present that they're independent. When you scratch under the surface, they have no autonomy. They're governed by a big, big distributor that's family run. I'm not going to name what it is, and they take a lot of control over your a lot of stuff. You got to play the game. It's rigged, in my opinion. And unless you're somebody, that's what I was told, then you're going to find it hard. I mean, what's all that about? Is this really the world we live? I'm embarrassed by the world we live in. There's this sort of like, you know, it, it's everywhere.
You need to get yourself on Love Island. You need to create
Fuck that.
some sort of pseudo celebrity status for yourself.
I know someone that went on Love Island and smuggled loads of ecstasy tablets in a coconut and got off their nut on live TV. Not live, but on that show on ecstasy. Ha ha. Yeah. I might not be telling the truth, by the way.
You might not be.
Or they might not have been telling the truth. No, I'm
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm just saying what I know, what they told me. Um anyway, so yeah, like I have to have forgiveness in my heart because if I don't, I'm gonna go into life like using what I just did, my book tour, right? I'm trying to, I'm putting the feelers out there, right?
Hmm.
And if I got into conflict, if you want to call it that. I got into because I'm not taking the conflict to people. I'm going in there, I'm being really genuine, really nice, really mellow. What you see is what you get. I'm just trying to have a conversation with people. And straight away, the energy that they don't understand. They don't realize what I have to do behind the scenes. They don't understand. If they knew the work that I did, if they actually knew the sort of work that I did, they probably might understand a little bit more about why I'm trying to, you know, place my book in society to help people, right? And that's not coming from ego. It's just, there's a lot of truth in me conveying a message, which is you're not alone. If you're struggling, you are not alone. And there's some information here that could help you, right? It's just it's putting some good shit into society, into a needed society, which is quite sick at the moment, right?
Hmm.
Now, I'm not coming from a God complex. I'm just saying that I know from behind the scenes my work, what I do, that I'm translating that overtly. I'm just trying to put it into pockets of society to help people, right? And what I've concluded is that when I go and talk to people, straight away their back gets put up. It's like they can't handle the truth and they have to protect their narrative. and defend it. Oh no, we are independent. No, you're not. You're not. You're governed by the big guys. Well, no, but you don't understand. I'm like, I do understand. You know, they don't like it. They don't like being called out. But there are some good ones out there. There are some genuine, independent, fully autonomous people that will deal directly with people like me and anyone else who's an indie
But
publisher, an author.
there's a lot of people out there that have no power and have given that power away,
Absolutely, that's exactly it.
and then feel resentful
Yeah, exactly that.
and angry that they have given their power away,
Exactly that.
but want to think they haven't.
Yeah. So someone said to me once, um, that most people, all their when you're, and you could say this maybe, I don't know, about you got to reflect, anyone listening, how is this for you, what I'm saying, right? A lot of people just need that payday at the end of the month,
Mm-hmm.
right? However you're getting it. Now, for a lot of people, it's going to pay the mortgage or whatever, right? And cover costs. Now, unless you've got full control over how you generate that money, which I have, then I'm not governed by anyone. I'm
Yep.
fully autonomous. That
Yep.
means I can be fully authentic and have full integrity and honesty, right? Now, is it hard to collaborate with other people, to collaborate, to share, and build commerce, community, fair trade? No, it's not impossible, but it's fucking hard and it's thin on the ground. There's pockets of people out there. Now, I went to another place. I'm not going to name it, I'm not going to call it out, but it was a place not too far from Glastonbury where I was trying to promote not just the book, but TVR. And they're like, "Oh, you local?" I'm like, "Well, what, you asking me if I live here?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they wouldn't help me
Okay.
because I don't live there. I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't understand. This is like I called it a men's mental health podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to help people, but you're not local. What's all that about? That's freaking xenophobic, isn't it?" Anyway, so some people, so like if you're not got full autonomy over how you bring in your expense and how you disperse that and who you choose to do that with trade, then all you're focusing on is, well, I can't upset the apple cart because I've got to get that money to pay my mortgage. They're governed. So it's hard, even though they might like what you're saying and what you're representing, they've got no autonomy. Anyway, so for me to go into that process, I can't have hatred in my heart because I'm just going to be bitter and twisted, and it's just not going to be, it's not good energy, man. I've done many years of living my life like that, being a victim. It's like, not having a voice, not being heard, not being seen, not feeling that I'm being heard or seen, having no voice. So I think it's really important that we invest our time, our energy, and go to any lengths and choose to create an ecosystem that we can live within, where we've got people that really, really, genuinely respect, nurture, and support our needs, our voice, our ideas. Otherwise, we're just going to have hatred and resentment and we're going to be in conflict with with everything around us, everyone in it. And ultimately, we're going to just not like ourselves much either, because we could do better.
Well, it's that quest for power, isn't it? It's that quest for us to be the only voice in the room. That's how I feel about it. Is that we're always battling to be on top, to be, there's this sort of need for hierarchy and for someone to have their views be the dominant views. And like you were just saying about, like, there is a place for, as long as we're not preaching hatred or putting people down, there's there's a place for everyone's perspective, everyone's point of view, and everyone to be surviving. Like, we're not in a situation where people should be starving, either metaphorically or physically, in the real world. It's like we should be in a situation where we can create a system where we are able to be more supportive of each other, to be more uh, cooperative, to be more collaborative, and from that would come a much kinder and more sustainable way of living. And I just, I it's so easy for me at this moment in time to get caught up in that sort of drama triangle: anger, resentment, hatred, as opposed to actually just going, okay, I'm going to step outside this again. I'm just going to hover above, and I'm going to accept that there's some really hurt people at this moment in time, and I have a choice as to how I interact with those other human beings. Do I dig my heels in, get more belligerent, get more stuck, and end up having a really sort of negative interaction with people all the time? Or do I go, actually, I'm just going, they can do their stuff. If they can work through it, if they can make a choice themselves as to whether they want to work through their stuff or not. Do they want to do the work? I don't know. It's up to them. Do I want to do the work? Yes, I do. Do I want to be in a better place? Yes, I do. So I have that choice.
Hmm.
And it is, for me, it's definitely easier for me to make a choice where I get stuck in the in that space where I'm just like, oh, I hate this. This is I resent this. This is it's easier to follow the stream, to be the
Hmm.
fish flowing with everyone else, than it
Yeah.
is to step outside and go, no, I'm not doing that. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of commitment, and to not be doing what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, you gotta have your own mind,
Yeah.
and that's I know that one. It's really hard. I think I've always had my own sense of agency in mind. I've always been very sort of seeing the world in a way that I see it. And I've always, from a very early age, thought, like, I always share this. And sorry to anyone in America or the Americas when I say this, and it's just, I'm just being honest. I always had a sense that the Indians were the good guys. When I watched cowboy and Indian films, I
Hmm.
always watched that and thought that the narrative felt off to me that the
Hmm.
cowboys were the good guys and the Indians were. So I'm really sorry. I've been to Texas a bunch of times and I've met cowboys and they are good guys. But the narrative of like there's this like I thought was, but how the people of the land, the Indians, they're the native people, and then white man came to America and how is that right? As a young kid, I sort of questioned that narrative that was being put across on TV. It's just one example, of where I just thought, oh, I questioned. I used to question a lot, and that's healthy. It's healthy to question. It's what the Buddha teaches, isn't it? It's like, don't believe what I'm telling you. Go and find out through direct investigation for your own experience. Make your own conclusion, you know? I don't know. But I had a thought right? We was talking about inventory,
Yeah.
strip inventory. Do you think if you sat with the people that you're feeling this towards and you did, it doesn't have to be strip inventory.
No, definitely not down with these people.
Not sure you get away with it.
No.
Going completely against what we were saying last week when we recorded that, which was do it in a intimate relationship with someone that you trust and love.
Hmm.
Um, not people outside of that space, be it your work colleagues or whoever's. I don't know how that would work, but um, just the whole premise of inventory, stock take
Hmm.
of where I'm at, what's my part in it, because this is ultimately what we can only do is, as they say, keep our side of the street clean.
Yep.
That's it. That's all we can do. Accountability always comes down to that. What's my part in this? What can I change? What am I powerless over? Who am I powerless over? Like, what people can I not change? What situations can I not change? And I think all we can do, we have the power to change our relationship to how we interact with those people and situations. So that requires, an inventory process.
Okay.
No? Is it? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
do you think
I,
forgiveness comes out from doing that? Do you feel?
yeah. I just at this moment in time, I feel very powerless, and I don't feel like I have that agency. And I can look at the past, and I can look at experiences where we're very strong, and it does tend to be males,
Mm.
very strong, uh, powerful men have I've worked for who have been ebullient or uh, demonstrative in their interactions, and I have accepted it at the time. I sort of end up in that sort of freeze mode. Um, there's one I can really think of. I worked in the film industry for a period of time, and when I say the film industry, it was more like the advertising industry. And I worked for a company that was very well established at the time, and turned over a lot of money. Had some very powerful directors working for them, and there was this one director in particular who had came with quite a reputation for being very, very confrontational and very aggressive. And there was a situation where we were doing a scouting for a commercial, and we were down south. It was, I can't remember exactly where, South Downs, around that sort of area.
Streatham High Road.
Straight my road. We were out in the middle of nowhere, and my job, because I was the runner, was to drive these people around. And I had, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 different crew people in my people wagon. And the director was in his souped up, powerful Land Rover. And we were going up this hill, like one of those hills where you literally turn the corner and you're going, hairpin sort of bends. And we hit, I think it must have been a coal truck. It was some sort of slow moving, big, big, like lorry that was moving at like 5 miles an hour. And this director got really, really angry about the speed we were traveling, because he was behind me and I was behind this truck. And he called on his mobile phone into this people wagon. It's like, you better take over now, overtake this vehicle now, or else that's it, you've lost your job. And he was swearing, he was just, and everyone people carrier that I was driving was like, "Don't you dare overtake because this like, we could die." I mean,
Yeah.
we've no way of knowing what's coming.
Yeah.
And anyway, he decided that he was then just going to overtake. So he zoomed past in his Land Rover, flew off up this road, disappeared, and we were in the middle of nowhere. And wherever the location was we were heading to, he missed it because he was following us so he could know where he was going. And
That's
because we were
hilarious.
in the middle of nowhere and it was early days of mobile phones, he couldn't get hold of us. So none of us could, he didn't know where he was. So it took him, if he'd just been patient, we'd have got there. Instead, it was about, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes before he finally arrived at the destination we were at. And we'd been there a while. And he like literally screeched into this car park in these woods where we were and got out and was just, I mean, the abuse he gave me. Like I mean, and I remember it was quite homophobic for some reason. But he was just launching all this abuse at me. And all these people that I'd been driving in this people carrier didn't say a word. Everyone just let him do it. And he even went to the point that was it. He goes, "You don't even get any lunch. You don't deserve lunch because of how dreadful you are as a human being." And I remember just standing there going, "What? I just didn't have any comeback." And I just remember being totally aghast at the fact that all these people didn't say, "You're being totally out of order. This is completely your fault." And
Honestly.
and later on, I think we did end up down on the coast because I think we were at a beachfront for another location,
Mm.
and I had all these sandwiches in the back of the car, which people were eating for lunch, and he was like, "You're not allowed any lunch," sort of thing. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm some naughty Victorian child. Um, I think he ultimately gave in a little bit and said, "Oh yeah, you can have one sandwich or something," but he calmed himself down. I just remember thinking, how
I,
appalling everyone's behavior was at that point.
I'm gonna psychoanalyze him just quickly, right? So I would say I'll be I may be wrong, but I reckon he was raised by a colonel. His father, like proper,
Yeah,
like military
yeah,
style colonel, cold, harsh,
yeah,
horrible, bullying father. And
yeah.
he probably went to a school that probably had similar characters. Sorry, gone.
So yeah, so I mean, I that incident stays with me,
Mm,
and like I can still picture so much of that day and that incident because of
yeah,
how I was treated. But I didn't, and now sort of in my head, I'm like, I wish I'd just thrown the keys to that people
walked
carrier,
off.
walked off, thrown them in the bushes, said, right, if you that's how you guys want to treat me, fine, you get yourselves home.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of nowhere, but I could have, I don't know, could have walked and found a train
I,
station.
I, would- I would have taken his Range Rover. I said, fuck you, you
Yeah,
prick.
yeah.
Got his keys off of him, headbutted him. No, no, I'm joking. This is a little fantasy of mine. I
Yeah.
honestly, if I was there, Ben, I assure you, if I was there, I would have absolutely backed you up, man.
Mm,
I would have told that guy to fuck himself.
yep.
Shut the fuck up, mate, you little prick. Why? Who gives you the right to treat people like that? Just because you're a
Yeah.
director, you little prick.
Yeah.
So what? You're just on a level with everyone else. Have you not worked that one out yet? It's because you've got a
Yeah.
Range Rover and you've got a title called a director.
Yeah.
You're no different to anyone else here. No different. Oh, I'm getting angry.
Yeah. So I guess what I was the reason that story came to mind is because there are those people that are
Mm,
completely bullying in their situation. And like you said, you've already started to psychoanalyze and go, well, he's probably got some dreadful childhood stories himself or whatever.
hurt people hurt people.
Yeah. But it's really difficult for me. Like I said, I've just recounted that. That will happen in my early 20s.
Mm,
So that's like, almost 30 years ago now. And it's like, I I can't let that go. It's still there. It's still
Really?
sitting like as a residue of like of why didn't I behave differently? Why didn't I? And
Right.
can I forgive that human being for being such a
Okay.
dreadful person?
So let me break it down in my understanding of what's going on, right? So for me, because I relate, I really do. There's lots of characters. There's always going to be the director,
Hmm.
right, in your life, no matter what. There's always been the director, and there always will be a director character. At the moment, we're being cryptic with your current situation, but you've got the director in your life right now, right?
Hmm.
And it's still playing out, right? No different context, different storyboard
Yeah.
narratives, but the characters remain the same. You're
Hmm.
still in this position, and you've still got the director character in his position of power, right?
Yeah.
And it has a power over you. Now, the way I see it is that will continue till end of days, till you take your final breath, unless something changes. Now, I know so many people, I'm included in that, that will attract and allow certain characters to come into our lives, right? Whether it's the boss or the partner, whether that's a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, a work colleague, an employee, whatever, a friend. There's always going to be these people that come into our lives that we attract into our lives. Like it's almost like we gravitate like a magnetic force to these people. Now I know, it's not like I believe, I know that until we change what is going on for us, not them, us. Why am I doing that? Why am I Why am I choosing to dance with these people?
Hmm.
Why am I choosing these partners to dance with? And why am I choosing to do this dance? You know? And until I recognize, well, that's the first thing, that I have a part in this, right? It's not just happening to me. These people are everywhere in life. Right? We can go anywhere in the world and we're going to come across the person that represents our dad or our mother or our whoever or the school teacher or the headmaster at our school who fucking slaps us on the bottom with a ruler or metaphorically speaking, or the guy that spits at you in the abandoned warehouse whilst you're high on acid.
Hmm.
There's always going to be these people everywhere we go in life. So until we have a look at what's going on psychologically for us. Why am I why am I still allowing this stuff to come into my being, into my life, my world? And it's that whole thing, I've said it before, maybe we can't prevent these characters from coming into our garden of where we live, metaphorically speaking, but we don't have to let them in our house. We can even let them have a swim in our pool if we want, but we're not going to let them in our house. So how do we do that? So I believe, for me, the work that I've done on this is that it's the awareness of this is what's going on. That there's certain characters that are going to represent a certain character from my past that I'm still perpetuating. Okay, so why? Why is that? Why am I why am I attracting these people? I know loads of people that have had this same thing. I was the same. If I look at all of my ex-bosses
Yeah.
when I had a boss,
Hmm.
they were pretty much all the same characters. Until I changed that I'm not going to have them anymore. You know, um, I need to step into my power, and then they don't have any power over me. I think that's what it is. Now, how do we do that, people? How do we step into our power so other people don't hold power over us? Well, I've got to have a voice. I've got to be able to. I've got to. You didn't have a voice of that director. You never had the voice, so I feel like you got to start. I'm not telling you what to do here. I need to start to have my voice. So do we say that to the people that a problem for us, or do we just not so much have the voice for them for the other people, but we have the voice for us?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is what you're doing on TVR.
Hmm.
You're you are talking about things that have happened 30 years ago, or however long ago it was. So there's your voice. That's the first step, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then where do we go from there? Well, okay, look, maybe I'll start to talk to the director that's actually causing me problem right now in my life right here, right now, today. Well, I've tried that. He doesn't listen. Like the other director, he's a twat. He's got issues that he's not dealt with. So I can't change that. I'm powerless over that. But what I have got power over is how it affects me. So am I going to sit in hatred and resentment, or am I going to sit in forgiveness? And how do I get that forgiveness? Am I doing it to set him free? Or am I doing it to set me free? Well, I'm not doing it to set him free because it ain't going to set him free. I'm doing it to set me free. So, all right. So how do I get that forgiveness? Are
Hang
you waiting for me to say?
Yeah, yeah. I'm waiting for the
Oh,
solution. That's what I need.
all right. For me, I I've talked about this before,
Hmm.
and I'll say it again. Um, there's a method that I came across called metta, love and kindness meditation, right? And it's a method. Metta means love and kindness. So I was talking about it not so long ago about the road rage.
Hmm.
People up your ass, getting angry, right? I'm powerless over that person coming up my ass, getting angry, getting all fucking up in my grill. But what I have power over is how I react to it. Do I get into hatred and resentment, or do I bring it back into a place of, it's okay. I love you, brother. May you be happy. May you be at ease. May you be free from suffering. May you be well. Now, it's a mantra that I use when I get into kerfuffles with people. Now, the last time I had to use that was for one of the bookshop owners who I had a voice. I'm using my voice to articulate what I feel and think my needs and my wants are, but they're not seeming like they're holding the space enough to hear it.
Yeah.
They're not in the right narrative. They're not in my narrative. They're not in cahoots with me. They're not collaborating. They're not being accommodating my needs and my wants.
Hmm.
So what do I do with that? Do I get angry and bent out of shape and go, you fuckers, and start being all obnoxious and then take that away and be, or even if I don't say it to their face, I walk away and I'm thinking it and I regurgitate that shit over in my head. And this is what us mad fucking humans do, is we get into these kerfuffles with people every day, whether it's work or with your partner or whoever's. And there's an incident, there's something that takes place where we don't quite align with what we feel our needs and our wants are, and they're not being freaking reciprocated. So we then take it away. And for a lot of people, including me in my formative years, I wouldn't vocalize what my needs and my wants are. So I would freeze, go inward, make myself small, which is the opposite of empowerment. I'd make myself small, I'd clam up, go into my shell, retreat. And British people are brilliant at going, okay, great, yeah, no problem, see you later, bye. And then you walk out and you're like, fucker, and you're resentful and angry, yeah? And then you start spewing all this hatred for these people. And then what you'll do, you'll talk to everyone that will listen to you. And normally we'll choose people that love to have a bit of a gripe over something. So all we're doing is we're reinforcing that sense of hatred and resentment. And then not only that, not only are we talking like Monday, we're going to talk about Tuesday, we're going to talk about, we're still talking about it Saturday, Sunday, and the Monday after. and onwards and onwards. And then so that's just reinforcing, and all you're doing is you're reliving, recreating the suffering and the hatred and the resentment. Where does that go? And that's just one incident. What happens if you've got a load of them things happening to you every day? And where does it go? What do we do with it? Do you know what I mean? And it's not just talking about it. We're going to be thinking about it. And then we're going to be lying in bed overthinking about it. And then we're going to wake up and then on it continues.
Hmm.
So for me, meta meditation is quite simply setting an intention to it's an affirmation. It's a positive way to flip that energy, which I was just going on about, where to prevent all of that to play out and to sit in all that shit, I can quite simply just choose, because I do choose to do it, to remove all of that horrible energy and time and resources. Why on earth am I giving that person all of that time and energy? Like Gillian Anderson said,
Hmm.
why am I choosing to invest all that time and energy into someone and something that happened 30 years ago?
Mm.
How am I free? They don't. They've lived. That director's probably well, he's either dead from a heart attack,
Yeah,
or karma's got him, or he might be sitting in his castle somewhere with like loads of Swedish models having the time of his life eating grapes.
no,
For all
he's
we
he's
know.
he's passed away.
Oh, he has. Do you know that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. Right. So, um, but he wouldn't have given you two thoughts. He wouldn't have lay there that night thinking, "Oh God, I wish I hadn't talked to that guy like that." He wouldn't have had
Or
no.
or do you think there is a possibility that these people are literally lying in bed at night going, I can't believe I've done that again. I can't believe
Mm,
I've behaved that way.
not sure about that. I don't think they're consciously doing it
Mm,
because if they were lying, they would probably
do something
get to a
about it.
point. They'd get to a point where they'd have to act on it and do something
Yeah.
about it. So it's a subconscious thing that just plays out.
Or there's like a guilt loop. It's like, oh, I've treated
Yeah.
someone so badly today, but I can't do anything about it, so I'm going to do it again tomorrow.
And I'm going to drown my sorrows and
Yeah,
black out every
yeah,
night
yeah.
because I can't deal with this shit. So anyway, look, I know it's all a bit hippy dippy, but honestly, people, if you're relating to anything I'm talking about, and this is this is a thing for you or anyone you know, this is a real tangible, practical, right here, right now, in any given moment when you feel that you're in resentment or hatred, and you can catch that, and you've got the awareness and the self-awareness to know this is what's going on for me. Why not try these kind of affirmations to replace the other narrative? We need to change the narrative. It's mindset, attitude, perspective. May I love you, director. I love you, director. It's like I said to the guy who spat at me.
Yeah.
I've done it for him loads. That's why I have forgiveness in my heart. And I'd
Hmm.
hug him because I've absolutely cultivated and created a softer heart for him. My heart has a softness to it because of what I'm talking about. I've practiced what I'm preaching. May you be happy. May you be at ease. May you be free from suffering. May you be well. Over and over and over and over until one day you realize you love this person. And if you practice this stuff, you do it, it works. It works if you work it. So work it, you're worth it.
Right.
That's what I
Okay.
think. That's the antidote to what we're talking about, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
It-
think you're right. I
It's
think
the
you're
only
right.
one. It's the only one I know that's worked for me. So I'm only
Yeah.
sharing what's worked for me. May not work for other people. Try it. See if it works for you, people.
Makes me feel a little bit sick, so I'm guessing it's right. Normally, when I get that sort of squeezy feeling, I'm usually like, yeah, that's probably what I need to do because I
Mm.
don't want to do
Well,
it.
well, I've given you a free antidote. It don't cost any money. You can
Yeah.
start right now. Try it. Report back.
Okay. I'll let you know.
And then I'll say the same thing if you still feel it's not work. No, I haven't done it. It's not worked. I've not done it. Okay. Well, that's your fault.
Right, this is getting on for the longest episode we've ever done.
I think it's worth it. It's a big one, forgiveness.
Yeah.
We need to forgive ourselves and do that for ourselves. May I be happy. I do it for myself you know, every morning, hand on my heart. Might be a couple of mornings where, whatever, but most mornings, every morning, if I can. Hand on my heart. May I be happy. May I be at ease. May I be free from suffering. May I be well. And then I say it outwardly.
Hmm.
May we all be happy, at ease, and free from suffering. May we all be well. And if there's someone who's pissed me off, okay, bookshop owner, Bernard, may you be happy. May you be at ease. May you be free from suffering. May you be well, Bernard. I love you, brother.
That's beautiful.
Fake it till you make it. Okay.
Right. Okay. I will practice that,
It
and I
works,
will I
man.
and I will report back next time
Yeah,
we speak.
it works. It does work.
Okay.
Okay, man. Are you all right? Was that good? Was that not
Yeah.
good? Was that?
That was that was that was cathartic. I feel more positive. I feel like
Okay.
I have a little bit more forgiveness in my heart.
Good. Good.
So thank you for your wisdom.
Set ourselves free, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's for everyone. It's for everyone. I'm only saying what's works for me. I wouldn't be rattling on about this if I haven't applied it and know that it works.
Hmm.
I'd love people to report back. Try it out, people. What are your tips? You know, what are your practices in relation to what we're talking about? Let us know. Join us at the velvetrevolutionpod.com.
Beautiful.
Boom. Okay. All right, man.
All right. You good?
I- I'm all good. Yeah.
Cool.
Groovy. Have a good one. I'll see you
And
next
you.
time.
See you on the next one.
Bye bye.
Bye.